Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to look at some old Oric tapes. So I've been playing Oric games recently, as hopefully you've seen, hopefully enjoyed, and it's been great fun. There's been some really good titles, some crap ones, let's be honest, and I'm rubbish at video games. But apart from that, there has been a few that haven't loaded. So the majority of the tapes I've tried, they've loaded after a bit of messing around, but so far these are the ones that haven't loaded. So all of these ones are dead tapes. Tapes that have either for some reason blank on them, or a weird warbling sound, or they're too quiet, or whatever, you know. There's all kinds of problems. Over time tapes do stretch and there's problems with heating and all sorts of stuff, and you know, eventually though they wear out. The last one I tried, was it the last one? Actually no, I think it was the first one that I tried. Frigate Commander. It's a simulator game. It's not the best game, but it's cool, you know. I love it's a RJK, and I love that packaging I've mentioned before. All very good. But try as I might, I could not get it to load. So what I did was I dug out my old Android tablet. I should just mention actually that there is a well-known program in Oric circles called Tap2Wav, and it's a program that takes the .tap emulation file for Oric and converts it to a WAV. That means you can play it on a computer or MP3 player or whatever, which is great. Yeah, it works, but I've had mixed success with it. I've compiled it now onto a PC, onto a Mac, and try as I might, I can't get it to be reliable. So I was looking for an alternative, and I found one. So on my Android tablet, which is a fairly ordinary Android tablet, I found, where's it gone? This one here, which is Tap Oric. Tap Oric. So I put a link to that, and it's brilliant. So it shows you a list of files in the directory, and if you put your .tap file in there, that's it ready to go. So all you've got to do is plug it into your Oric, press play, and it loads. And now I've played Frigate Commander loaded off this very tablet, and that works really nicely. Then I thought, well, maybe there's a way of recovering these old tapes. Maybe I can take the output of this. So I'll plug that in here. Take the output of your Android tablet or Android phone, bung it into the mic on here, put the tape in, and job done. Maybe it'll work. Interesting. So that's a possibility. So you get your tape. Ordinarily, so the majority of tapes, virtually all professional, in quotes, professional tapes, the right tab has been removed. So there's usually a piece of plastic in there that you push in and break, and that means that you can't write to the tape. But here's a bit of tape, sticky tape, I prepared earlier. So what we can do is put this over here. It's on. So you're looking at the tape from the front. It's on the left-hand side. You've got to put the right protect tab on, so that, or the right tab on. So that means we can now record on the tape. Inside the tape decks, you have this little thing there that gets pushed back, which means ordinarily, if it's not pushed, you can't push the record button. You push record and play to record onto it. So it doesn't need much. Really, doesn't need much in the way of force. It's very, very light. This is extremely light. So a piece of cardboard, bit of paper, a bit of small tape like that should be enough. I don't have. Obviously, the issue here is I'm about to record onto an original tape, and that is, I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me. But the way I'm seeing it is, this particular copy of Frigate Commander is dead. I cannot load it. So I might as well give it a go, because I'm not going to lose anything. And you never know. I might be able to recover this tape. If I could do that, and indeed recover the rest of these, then there's a load more games that I can play. I really wanted to play Xenon 1. I really enjoyed that game. And I remember Probe 3 being difficult, but you know, whatever. There's games there. This Road Frog game, so a Frogger clone, I think this was the first tape I ever got with my Oric. other than the welcome pack. So this is pretty special. I had a copy of Oric Invaders as well, the original copy in the larger box, but that's disappeared, so I don't know. But I think this was the first one, and I remember playing it, and yeah, it was cool. My recollection might be faulty. It's cool. Anyway, so let's give it a go. When we do this, I'm going to press record and play, and I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for the leader on the tape to spool through. One thing to bear in mind is when you start playing with Tap Oric, it plays almost straight away, and there's pretty much no lead in. So normally with your fast or slow loader, you get like a wee, and that initial wee can be quite long. Several seconds, whereas this is pretty much instant. It's like half a second and it's starting. So it's good and bad. You don't really need the intro, the lead in. That's fine, but you've got to make sure you're past. I'm pretty sure this is the first I've tried this, but I would imagine it's best to well, I mean technically I'm going to have to go past the leader to make sure that things line up. Ordinarily you could press record and play and it would take so long, enough seconds for it to be recording stuff like a basic program or whatever, to actually, you know, to go past the leader, and then off you go. So I'll stop jabbering. I'm going to set the volume to probably what am I going to set it to? I'm going to set it to maybe two-thirds volume on there, and I'm just going to move everything down so you can see. Not there's much to see, obviously, because it's a digital thing. There will be it does show you the amount of time left, so I'm just going to move the camera 1 second. Right, let's do this. So I mean, it just feels weird. I don't like it. Let's go. So wait for the lead in, and there's a line here which you just can see, I think, just there, which shows you the progress. It's quite nice because you know when to shut the tape. Okay, that's now finished. Let that just load up a little bit. Just realised that maybe what I should have done is, so I don't know whether the Android OS and background services have made noises in the background whilst this has been loaded. So maybe what I should have done is gone into some kind of silent mode. Moment of truth. Let's give it a go. So this is, as I say, this is completely live. So the moment of truth. Let's give it a go. None of this is contrived. I have no idea where this is going to work, but I'm not even going to listen to it on the way back, on the playback. So if it doesn't work, we might have to fiddle with all kinds of other settings. Throw caution to the wind and try it. No. Right, let's have a listen back. Maybe that was too... Oh, that doesn't sound good. I'm going to use the microphone here to record some test stuff on there. This is really not a good idea, but hey, whatever. I think the actual tape media itself has decomposed. I'm just going to clean the record head again. I've cleaned it before, but I've got some alcohol here. Well, I mean the erase head. There's like a there's an erase head that goes in. So I've got to do, if I do, well, there's a bit, there's not much. I have a feeling this won't work. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. This is a bit odd, but I'm going to go on to the other side of that tape. And we'll record some audio. The audio quality of the mic is rubbish, but you never know. Of course I can't do that because the other side doesn't have the right protect on it. So what I used to do when I was a kid is just get some bits of paper, scrunch it up and shove it in the hole. It's not ideal. There you go. But it works. Sometimes you lose it inside the machine, but usually it's okay. So if I do a record now, hello and welcome to Retro Ginger, a channel of retro weirdness and junk. Retro Ginger, a channel of retro weirdness and junk. The other side of the tape actually sounds better. Tell you what we'll do is let's try that again. This time I'm going to, what am I going to do? I've got to turn that volume up. Whoa. Okay, same kind of volume level. I'm going to go into mic, do that, record that. Let's just do that so we can see. Similar kind of thing. I'm going to go, Oric. Whoops, I'm not going to do that. The play itself, that's kind of weird. And then we'll do that again. This time the bar's going that way. Very confusing. Not ideal, but I might have to put a label on it saying, you know, use this side. At least it's the original tape. This is what I'm trying to get to. I want to load up the original media if possible. It might be the case that all of these issues with the tapes are the same. That is actual physical damage to the media. Yeah, I was kind of hoping that we could get around that, but maybe not in this case. Let's give this a go. It hasn't worked yet, so this is all an experiment. Okay, well, it's don't know, promising, I guess, but let's move this up a little bit so we can see what's going on. So fingers crossed. Oh, it almost loaded then. Right, I'm going to record this one more time, and this time I'm going to... The Oric is actually in loop, but it's not going to do anything. I'm going to press play again. Well, I'm definitely past the leader. That's a shame. So if I show you this, so I'm going to plug. Move this that way. So I'm plugging the Android tablet into here, right? If I do this, then it works really nice. So immediately it's loading. It's really cool. It's a lovely way of doing it. Actually playing on original hardware using the emulator, basically a digital tape deck. It's never going to get distortion. Fantastic in many ways. I was kind of hoping to restore some of these old tapes, but maybe that was too much to hope. I'm going to give it a go with some other tapes and see what I get. See whether I can actually do that. Yeah. So disappointed. I feel I should show you what it's like. I'm not going to play the game because I haven't loaded it off tape. That's kind of the rule. It's got to be loaded off tape. Yeah, I mean, if this is like, yeah, there's a 40-year gap in technology here. It's not right. It needs to be loaded off tape. So sorry about that. If you want to see the game, you can get an emulator and load the tap, and that's all fine. But it's just, it goes against the grain. It's got to be against tape. Now, if I can, I've got another tape deck. I've got a big one, a big TIAC job. I could try it on there, maybe high quality. For recording, I don't know. But as it stands, it's probably this tape. The magnetic media on this tape is just too crusty. But you see, at the moment, it's stable. It seems to be working all right. And if you've got an Oric and dodgy tapes or no tapes, then this is the way forward. Get yourself an Android tablet. I think this works on just about really old versions of Android. So get yourself one of them, and then you've got all the Oric tap library to play with, and there's much less faffing about than using a PC. Now, PC has advantages, recording, and I'm working on that remote control module, and that's coming along nicely. So there are advantages and disadvantages, but for convenience, it's pretty good. Okay, almost finished. Couple of seconds. Done. So I'm not going to play this game, but you can see that it's... Oh, yeah, I remember it gets quite loud. But yeah, it's really the load. It's just such a shame. As I say, I reckon it's the media. But I'll crack on and see if I can recover some of the other games. Yeah. I'll see you next time. Cheers.